Hi everybody, we are at lesson 4 in the Chakra Challenge, 7 Days to Amazing. And I'm here with you today to talk about the heart chakra. The heart chakra is the fourth chakra. It's the bridge between the lower 3 chakras and the upper 3 chakras. And it's a powerhouse. It's the powerhouse of the human energy system. It's about giving and receiving love. It's actually what I call the seat of the soul. And it really is, the heart chakra is really the only way to spiritual consciousness. It governs the organ of the heart and also governs the gland of the thymus gland. And the thymus gland is part of the immune system. So it strongly influences immunity. The core issues of the heart chakra are love, acceptance of self and others, compassion, obviously unconditional love, but a balance in love as well. So are we loving not enough, or are we loving too much? And loving too much actually can be something like codependency. Sorry, you guys, there are some questions coming in. Thanks everybody for being here. I have to put my glasses on so I can acknowledge you. Hi, Tammy. There are some questions coming on. Erica may answer them, but I'll answer them when I'm done. But anyway, so it's about love, acceptance, compassion. It's the field in front of the body and back of the body, over the chest. It's about our authentic self versus being someone that we think we need to be for someone else. The blocks and stagnation of this chakra involve wounds. And as we grow up, and even in our present lives, we can feel very, very wounded. And these wounds are disappointments, great, significant disappointments and hurts. And even from people closest to us, and even friends or at school, wherever it is. And we carry these wounds around throughout our life, oftentimes unnoticed, because when we have the experience, what actually happens is that our body has a survival response, including in the limbic system of our brain where our emotional survivals are. And so it's very, very deep within us, deep in our heart, deep in our fields, deep in our brain. And unless we allow ourselves to be open and honest enough to be able to look at those wounds, we can get really stuck. The wounds can create a response of a belief about not feeling good enough for love, not being lovable. Also, it can create this belief around, I will always be lonely, I'll be by myself forever. And in fact, fear of loneliness is one of the top fears of the human experience. When we have these wounds and live with these wounds without dealing with our wounds, they can build and build and build, as I said. And part of the compensation for this can be moving into a really resentful place, maybe being very judgmental and critical of others. And if you notice that you are judgmental and critical of others, you'll be that of yourself as well. Of course, it starts with us, and then we project that outwards. It's very important when we become aware of our wounds, that we seek help, whether it's going to a counselor or going to someone like myself, a kinesiologist, or like Erica. Some wounds are so deep and so big that it's a very scary thing for people to begin to open up to them and look at them and feel them. So it is the time. If you're in that place, it's the time to go and seek help and support for yourself. As we begin to understand our deep emotional experience to our wounds, and remember that second chakra is about emotions, but it's our emotional self with respect to others. The fourth chakra, heart chakra, is about our deep emotional understanding of ourselves. And that can be understanding our shadow side. Okay, so that's that part of us that we may not like a whole lot, or that may go against social norms or family norms, or even our own integrity about ourselves. As we deal with it, we begin to get in touch with grief, because there's always a loss. And maybe it's that I never got what I wanted when I was at this particular age or in this situation. And the hurt was so significant that there is deep grief there, and there's some kind of a loss. And this calls for us to ask, what am I grieving? What didn't I get? How do I begin to comfort that younger self so that I can move through this grieving process and get to forgiveness? Now, forgiveness is another important part, and you'll learn, as Erica talks about throat chakra tomorrow, you're going to learn that forgiveness is also part of the throat chakra, but that's when it comes to expressing. In the heart, forgiveness is about finding that emotional place in the heart and psyche that move us into forgiving so that we can let go. So as I always talk to my clients about and ask them, what does forgiveness mean to you? It's interesting to ask people this question. For many, many people, what forgiveness means is, well, then I have to be okay with what you did to me. And if I were raped by someone, that is never okay. It's never okay to be raped, right? So I would like to help everyone reframe the definition of forgiveness. What forgiveness really is I am no longer willing to carry around the resentment, the bitterness, the vengeance feelings. I am no longer willing to carry that around in my energy fields because it doesn't serve me. And so as we begin to forgive, we aren't saying it's okay what you did. We're saying that I am going to make a choice in my heart and in my psyche to not stay here any longer and to let this thing go. If you have not visited the deep emotional impact of these wounds well enough, getting to forgiveness will be very difficult. Okay? But once we are able to forgive, whether it's forgiving ourselves or forgiving others, that will move us closer to this place of love and self-acceptance and gratitude and accepting others. There's a woman by the name of Dr. Valerie Hunt, and she has since passed. I think it was in her 80s. She's a physicist. And in her 80s, she was very her passion was to be able to measure the human emotional frequency. And so she literally worked with NASA to develop instrumentation that would measure the frequency of human emotion. And I actually watched films of her work, which was fascinating. But emotions like thoughts of vengefulness, feelings of being vengeful and bitter and resentment, all of those feelings are very low frequency emotions, compared to feelings of love and gratitude, which are very high frequency emotion. So when we strive to really raise our own frequencies, we want to be a steward of what thoughts are we creating, what beliefs and thoughts do we have that are generating these emotions that are bringing my energies down, and then take responsibility for those. And that's really, a lot of that is the work of the heart chakra and the wounds that we carry. There is an interesting organization called HeartMath Institute, and you can look them up online and look at their work. But basically, they do research around the heart and the magnetic field of the heart. And medicine has instrumentation that measures the magnetic field of the heart and the magnetic field of the brain. And in fact, what's interesting is that the magnetic field of the heart is much, much more intense and stronger than the magnetic field of the brain. So HeartMath, what they do is they do research around heart coherency. And heart coherency is when the brain and the heart work together synergistically. Because when they do that, we get to access our soul's wisdom and guidance. And when we're able to access our soul's wisdom and guidance, we actually are able to live in harmony and flow. The other research that they have been doing, which is very exciting, is they've been researching the human heart coherency field and its impact on the magnetic field of the universe, and even of other things like trees. So what that means is that when our heart field is in coherence, it literally reaches out and influences others. And that's an important thing to realize, because when you shift these wounds within yourself and you're able to really start to deeply get at self-love, unconditional love of self and acceptance of self, that is improving your heart coherency to the point where it's influencing others and they begin to respond differently to you. Without them, you're making the changes here and they're reacting to it, whether they're conscious of it or not. It's a powerful thing. So the new thought patterns of the heart field, of the heart chakra, are: I love and honor myself. I love myself enough to forgive. And I am open to the healing power of love. So we're going to talk today about a tool to help with this chakra. Now, this tool is meditation, and I've addressed meditation a couple of different times in these lessons because it is so powerful. But today's meditation is actually a heart math meditation. And after this lesson, you can go to their website and you can look at several different meditations that Heart Math has for adults and even for children. So I really recommend you look into that for yourself. But anyway, so we're going to do this meditation as a tool for the heart chakra. And so I'm going to have you close your eyes and just sit back and relax. And now focus on your heart. Really see your heart. Drop down and see that beautiful organ of the heart. And now breathe in and out. And imagine that you're breathing in and out of your heart. So slow your breathing down in and out of your heart. And now I want you to bring in some positive feelings. And these are positive feelings of appreciation. So think of a situation, or your children, for example, or a pet, or a time when you really felt heartfelt appreciation. And as you breathe in and out slowly through your heart, feel those feelings of appreciation and love. Really connect with them. Notice that your heart coherency is getting big and is starting to extend beyond your body, both in front and in back. And see that coherency going beyond you and out into the universe. Because as all of us right now exercise this meditation of heart coherency, we are having a positive impact on the world. And as we all do this together as a group, it amps up the energy and it amps up the coherency and offers that out into the world and into the other people that are around us. So this meditation is simple, it's effective. You can again read about it on Heart Math Institute's website. And the more we are able to create our own heart coherency, the greater support we have from the heart chakra to be who we are, our authentic self, coming from a place of unconditional love of self and others. And the more we do that, I'm telling you, if we could all do that, our world would be a better place, one of harmony, flow, and peace for sure. So that concludes the lesson for today. Here we are. We've had 4 lessons. There's 3 left. Can you believe it? We're almost through this program. And so Erica will be back tomorrow to share information about the throat chakra and tools for that chakra. And then I'll be back on Saturday. So I look forward to being with you again. I want to thank you for being a part of this today. Thanks all of you for being on this call. I appreciate it. I'll look at your questions and answer those. And until then, I'll see you on Saturday. Bye-bye.